Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and to part 2 of my spring cleaning video. Now if you had watched my previous cleaning video then you will know that I cleaned all of the downstairs of my house to make it feel nice and clean and fresh again. Now in real time that was actually yesterday, but there's probably going to be a little bit of a gap between these videos on my channel. But basically yesterday I cleaned all of the downstairs of my house, made it feel really nice and fresh. This morning I did actually put the throws I have on my sofa in the washing machine just to actually freshen them up as well. So I will put them back out when they are done. But today I need to focus on upstairs. So I have 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and my landing and stairs carpet that I want to give a really good clean. I have a cat. If you are new here, I have an indoor British Shorthair cat. So all her fur, especially on the carpet, I feel like I hoover daily, but no matter how much I hoover, there's always her fur in the carpet. I do have long hair and obviously my hair molts. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. I'm forever seeing like strands of my hair around the house. So I just find it gets all tangled in the carpet sometimes, and I actually have a carpet scraper and oh my God, like you will not believe how much of like the cat fur and that it gets out of the carpet that the hoover doesn't. So yeah, I'm going to do that today. Normally I just hoover, but yeah, at least once a month I like to give it a really good scrape. And I'm imagining today, because I haven't actually, normally I run the hoover around daily, but where it's been Easter and the kids' holidays, we've just been super busy. So I haven't been doing the jobs daily that I would normally do. So it's kind of all built up. So I've given everything a really good clean today. But I imagine when I scrape the carpet, like you will be amazed how much cat fur comes up from it. So sometimes I hoover it first and then scrape it and then hoover it again. But I think today I'm just going to give it a really good scrape and then hoover it. So yeah, super excited for that to be all nice and clean again. I'm also going to give the bathroom a really good clean. I've got some things I need to put away. Once the throws have come out of the washing machine, I'm also going to put in our bedding to wash. And at the moment, it is sunny outside and I feel like I don't want to jinx it, because at the moment I feel like the weather changes every minute, like you cannot predict it. But I'm really hoping, because there's nothing worse, is there, than having to have all the bedding hanging in the house. I do have a washer dryer, but yeah, I don't really want to use the dryer at the minute. So if it stays dry, I'm hoping I can get it outside. And obviously the good thing is that I am going to be around, so if it does rain, I can go and get it in. I just find, especially bedding, it's just so much better once it's been outside. So we will see how that goes. I feel like I've probably jinxed it and it'll probably rain as soon as I put it in the washing machine. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that out to dry. So let's head upstairs. I'm going to start in my bedroom, I think. I need to give everything a really good dust, clean. I want to wipe the windows over again. Yeah, so let's head upstairs. So starting off in my bedroom. Now, as you can see, the bedding needs a really good wash. So I'm going to strip that off and put that into the washing machine. But I'm not going to take it off until the throws are finished, so I can pop it straight in. So I'm going to leave that on there for now. I need to give my units a really good dust, and I also want to give them a wipe over just to make them really clean and fresh. You can see over here, Leo, my son, has put all his toys. Does anyone else with children end up like that? Like just end like the teddy bear, like all this just ends up in here. So yeah, need to sort all that out as well. And then the floors need a really good clean. I literally just done my hair in here and I can literally see like the strands of hair. Does anyone else's hair literally molt and like you can just see it on the floor? Honestly, sometimes I wonder how I have any hair left on my head. But yes, just need to give this all a really good clean. I also want to clean like the top of the bed to get any dust off. The same with here. And then the windows, I need to give the windowsill a nice wipe over. I may give the windows, like the glass in the windows, a quick wipe over. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do the blinds today because I haven't long done them. So I may leave them and do them another time. And then over here, as you can see, I have loads of clothes to sort out. Yeah. Basically, I need to really go through all my drawers and my wardrobe. I have so many clothes in there that I literally don't wear anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna need to go through it, and I tend to put a lot of my things on Vinted, especially loads of Leo's clothes. And I actually buy quite a few things on there, but obviously it takes time to go through it all. So yeah, that is a job. I feel like I've mentioned it before on my channel, and I've still not got around to it. But I will eventually do it, because as you can see, I have clothes on the side and it's really annoying me because I have no space to put them away. Yeah, so I need to sort it out. But at the moment, I think today I'm just going to give everything a really good clean, and obviously just sort out the sides, put it into like a neater pile until I have time to go through the drawers. So just started by giving my bedside units a really good dust over. I then sprayed on some of my Flash multi-purpose spray in the Wild Berries fragrance, just to give them a really good clean on top. I then also used this spray to clean all the front of the units, the drawers, especially because the ones that I've got, these are the IKEA Marm bedside tables, and obviously there's no handles or anything on them, so I do find they can get a bit grubby. So I just gave all the front of them, and kind of like where you use your hand to open them, a really good wipe over. I then went round and did the same on the other side. I also put on my diffuser. You may see it next to the flowers in the corner. It's got different lights that it changes. And yeah, this is just like a room air diffuser, so it is just putting out a nice fragrance into the room. I absolutely love this. So just took off all of Leo's toys that he had put on the bedside unit on this side. Again, just gave it a really good dust over, and then a spray. Again, I will wipe all the front of this unit down also, just to get any kind of grubby finger marks off. Once that was done, I then moved on to my window. Now, I forgot to move the camera around so you could see the full window, but I basically started by just giving everything a really good dust, especially at the top behind the blinds, because sometimes I find you can get cobwebs and things like that. So yeah, just gave them a really good dust. I then went in on the windows just very quickly with some white vinegar spray. Just gave them a wipe down with a cloth just to make them nice and clean. I am actually loving using the white vinegar on my windows at the minute. I just find that it leaves a really kind of streak-free finish. So yeah, just gave them all a wipe down, and then once the glass was done, I just used my Flash multi-purpose spray on the windowsill. I didn't do the blinds today, so my Venetian blinds, I normally dust them, sometimes I hoover it, but I haven't done them too long ago, so I actually left those today. I may do another video where I go around the whole house and purely just focus on cleaning the blinds, because they can take quite a lot of time because they are quite big windows, and yeah, going down every slat, dusting it can take time, and I want to do them properly, so I may do them in another video. But like I said, I haven't done them too long ago, so they aren't too bad at the minute, but they are definitely a dust trap. Like, I find the Venetian blinds honestly collect so much dust, so yeah, I will be cleaning them again soon. Moving on, I just gave my pictures above the bed a good dust. Again, I find things like this are dust traps and they collect the dust really easily, especially on top. So just gave these a very quick wipe over. I think I mentioned in my last cleaner video, I haven't finished decorating my bedroom. It's kind of one of the rooms in my house that I always think, oh, I'll do this first and then I'll do my bedroom. And it's kind of got left, but yeah, this year throughout the summer I would like to finally get round to fully decorating my bedroom. But now I've just moved on to my units at the bottom of my room, so I'm just taking everything off again just to give it a really good dust and a wipe over. I actually have glass on top of these units, so yeah, I absolutely love having the glass on there. So I dusted them over and then I gave them a really good clean with my multi-purpose spray, and the glass comes up really, really lovely on here. Once everything was back on top, I just sorted out some of the drawers, some of the clothes were coming out, and then again I gave all the front of the units a good wipe over. Like I said, I need to go through all of these drawers and sort out my clothes. I do still have a pile on the unit. I don't think you can see it on here because of the door, but yeah, until I go through the drawers I have nowhere else to put those yet, so that is definitely another job on the list. I then quickly went round all the skirting boards to give them a really good dust before I hoovered the floors. I also whiz the hoover over my bed because again I find on these ends the dust can build up, so I just like to give those a quick hoover just to get any dust that may build up on there off. Like I said, I will strip all the bedding off as well because that needs to go in the washing machine, but I am leaving that on until what is in the washing machine has finished, because otherwise it just ends up piling up everywhere, doesn't it? So yeah, gonna wait for the first load to finish before I start stripping it all off. Now on to my son Leo's bedroom. You can see Cassie the cat in here led on his pillow. This is her favourite position in the house. She absolutely loves it. She spends probably 90% of her day on this pillow. Yeah, absolutely loves it. So I started just by taking everything off of his desk and giving it a really good dust and a wipe over. I then used my Flash multi-purpose spray again just to give it a really good clean on top, make it nice and fresh. For the windows, I did the same as in my bedroom. I just gave them a really good dust over, and there was a few cobwebs again just up behind the blind, so I just got all of those off before going in with my white vinegar spray on the windows. And then I used the multi-purpose spray again just on the windowsill, and honestly just cleaning these windows makes it feel so much more clean and fresh. And then once that was all done, I just popped everything back onto the windowsill. The sides are now all nice and clean and dust free, so it's time to run the hoover around. Cassie the cat is not a fan of the hoover, so yeah, she was literally watching me like a hawk to make sure that I didn't go too close to her. So yeah, just giving everything a nice hoover in here. I did also run the hoover over his cushions on his unit at the bottom of his bed, because again, Cassie sometimes sits on these, so I just hoovered off any of her cat fur that was on these just to make them nice and fresh. And I also just gave the unit a wipe over underneath Again, just makes it a lot fresher and just makes it feel a lot cleaner. So that's Leo's bedroom done. Now it's time for the bathroom, and I just had a few things in here that I needed to put away. So I had my straighteners that I left in here to cool down from this morning, and I also had lots of boxes. So I recently picked up lots of new beauty products in Home Bargains. You'd have seen them if you watched my Home Bargains haul. So I just had all the kind of empty boxes to put away, so I just quickly put them out and I will take them down to the bin in a minute. And then also all the towels and the bath mat I'm also going to put into the wash. So I just started by putting all that out the way. I then started just clearing off the surfaces, and then I basically started by dusting everything, because again I feel like the dust can really build up in here. So before I sprayed anything, I just wiped all the surfaces just to get rid of any dust. And then once that was all done, I then went in with my Flash spray. I'm loving the Wild Berries fragrance at the moment. It honestly smells so fresh and lovely. And I can really smell it across the whole house once I've cleaned everything. So yeah. For the mirror, I used my white vinegar spray again, because like I said, I just find this leaves everything streak free. So really loving this on mirrors and glass. So I cleaned down the kind of shelf and the sink, and then I'm moving on to the bath area, because I like to leave the toilet to last, because obviously you don't want to be using any cleaning cloths or anything that you've used on the toilet on anything else. So I always leave the toilet to last. So again, I just started by dusting everything. Just to get rid of any dust first. So I just run the duster around the whole of the bath before I sprayed it again, just using my Flash. Gave everything a really good spray and a wipe over. I also did quickly spray and wipe over the tiles. I definitely didn't give the tiles on the wall like a really good deep clean, but I just tried to wipe them over as best as I could. They could definitely do with like a proper clean. I've seen people using like their floor mops and things like that on it, and I think that is such a good idea, because without standing in the bath, it is definitely hard to reach all of them. But yeah, I just gave them a very quick wipe over just to freshen them all up. Then using my white vinegar spray again, just to wipe down the panel of glass that I have on my shower. I also brought my shower head down and gave that a really good spray over. I find the white vinegar is really good at cleaning the shower head. So I just sprayed lots onto that, and then I just left it into the bath just to let it kind of soak into it for a little bit. And then once it had, I just kind of gave it a wipe over with my cloth, and honestly it made such a difference to my shower head. Toilet time now, so just popping on my gloves, just spraying it all over with my flash, giving it a good wipe. Just wiping all the outside surfaces, and then I use bleach on the inside, and that is the bathroom all done now apart from the floor. So next up I'm going to hoover all the floors. Downstairs now, and my throws for my sofa have just finished in the dryer, so I'm just going to pop those back on the sofa. And again, just having these on when they've been freshly washed just makes everything feel nice and fresh. Then put all the towels from the bathroom and my cleaning cloths into the wash before making myself some lunch. So I actually have some leftovers from last night, and I've made myself a nice cup of tea. Time for the stairs now, and like I said, normally I would hoover this first and then do this, but I actually thought today I'm just going to give it a really good scrape, because like I said, I have left the carpets for a few days and there is honestly so much cat hair. I feel like she is really molting at the minute, so just scraping all of the carpet. I just feel like this gives the carpet a really new lease of life as well. So just scraping out as much of the cat hair as I could, and then once I've done this all over the carpet, I will then get my hoover it all up, and just honestly makes such a difference. You'll see as well, I have so many little pools in my carpet. Honestly, Cassie the cat at night time, I don't know anyone else with cats if it's the same. She literally sleeps all day and then she comes alive at night time and she runs up and down this stairs. And she seems to just really pull it with her claws. find this so satisfying. Like, look at everything that's come up from the top on the landing. Like, it's actually crazy. So this is the tool that I'm using, and this was literally from, I think it was Temu, or it might have been Amazon. But honestly, like, look at all the balls of fluff that I've scraped up. So I'm just going to quickly hoover those up before I give the carpet a really good hoover all over. But I just feel like it gives my carpet a new lease of life as well, makes it nice and fluffy again. Yeah, really like using that tool. So now I'm just going to run the hoover all over it, and then that's the carpet all nice and fresh and clean again. So that is all the upstairs of my house, all nice and clean now. I hope it's given you some cleaner motivation and you enjoyed cleaning along with me. If you are new here and you aren't already subscribed, then please do consider subscribing if you enjoy this kind of content so you don't miss out on my future uploads. If you are a returner, thank you so much for your continued support. I'm honestly so grateful. It really means a lot to me. Please comment below, like, and I'll see you again in my next video. Goodbye everyone.